What's up, guys? YouTube, Twitch, YouTube if you're watching this later on. Dark Allegiance, nice to see you in the stream, man. Thanks for stopping by. Got a big video today. Not as big as it is packed full of info. This is thoughts and opinions on New World beta that was just finished here this past weekend. It was a 4-day beta. We did 4 streams during the beta. We did streams on PvP content. We did one that was more primarily PvE and just kind of going through and attacking some way higher monsters than what we should have been. Hey Parallax, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. What I played as in the beta was a female character, and I did hatchet and bow primarily. Well, not even primarily, that's all I used was hatchet and bow. And I tell you what, from the closed beta I used spear and musket. The hatchet and the bow is my kind of game, man. That was some good stuff. Who I played with in the beta? Shout out to Glassy C, Sephin, Parallax, Under Oath, Dark Allegiance, and Laurentis. Those are all Validus members we played with here in the beta. And I know there's going to be a bunch more when the game finally comes out, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, just want to do a quick shout out to the followers we gained from when we were streaming the betas for 4 days. Shout out to Minnesota Hulk, Dark Allegiance, who's here right now. Welcome back, man. And Scrimmage. Thanks for the follows, guy. I appreciate it. In the background here, I got some exclusive videos that you're only going to see here on Twitch. This video will not go on YouTube. If you don't watch it on Twitch, the only other place you can find it is in the Validus TV on the Discord. So I'll just play that in the background. This is just some various clips of the PvE content that we did. You're going to see some corruption fights, some higher level boss mobs. Well, not boss mobs, but kind of boss mobs for us. This is a 4-man group and we're going against a level 25 corrupted at this time. We're getting ready to take some pictures. What's up, Oath? Nice to see you here, man. Thanks for stopping by. So let's get to it, huh? One thing I want to start off with here is the server that we played on. We played on a North American East server named Eden. My first reaction when we got on the beta, for the open beta here, was, man, this game is like super laggy right now. I can't really do anything. Nothing's really happening. And I think a lot of people were having that really like bad first impression on the open beta that day. What I will say is the population of the servers were so high. If you watch the density as the beta went on, there was less and less people playing as the beta went on. There's 2 things I take from that. One, day 4 was by far the best server quality I had. And it was also when we were at medium population on the Eden server. So what I think that means for the game is once we have more servers at launch, this player base will be spread out even further. And if you can keep your servers at medium quality, I think your servers will run really nice. You'll see in a lot of this video here even, this is day 4 of the open beta. This is around, I'd say 10 o'clock at night, Central Time. You can see I'm not getting any input lag. I'm not getting, bad frame rates. We did pretty good. So I think As far as the server population goes, once the new servers come out, we'll get spread out pretty good and we'll do pretty alright. As far as lag goes, you know, there was some server input lag here and there for like gathering and harvesting for me. You could probably see on like day 3 and day 2 stream. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Dark Legion says server input lag. Yeah, man. I think it's hard to say whether they were doing hot fixes without telling people on the servers. I didn't really keep track on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but I know that is one of like their most used social media platforms. In terms of frames per second, I wanted to talk about this. If you're watching on Twitch in the About Me page, it shows my hardware. I got a really new PC that I just built here in February. Just a good setup. I got a AMD 6800 and then a Ryzen 5 5600X CPU. So I mean some top-notch stuff. Right now I'm running this footage you're seeing right now at 1440p with all settings for graphics set at high, and I'm not limiting my FPS. The reason I did that was to see where my ceiling would be. Depending on where I was in the map and what I was doing, I could get up to that 144 frames per second. But I would say most of the time, if not, according to my logs, I was anywhere from 45 to 144, which that's a pretty that's a pretty big swing, you know? My toaster was running 50 to 60. Nice PC, you're lucky. Hey, there was no luck about it, man. Saved the money and I paid out the behind for it, you know what I mean? I overpaid for it. Not I think I overpaid for it. I overpaid for it. It was worth it in the end though. Now I can do stuff like this and it's great. According to the logs I use with my Radeon software, which has been pretty accurate with all my other games, my average FPS was in the 95th percentile at 100 frames per second at 1440p. So I think with the higher end graphics card and CPU, you know, that jumped me up pretty good like that. But I think if you limited your game out to 60 frames per second, you could run at 1440p and see that 50 to 60, and I think you would be fine. As far as the PvP goes, I don't think the higher FPS is going to make you any better. So when the game officially releases, I'll probably limit myself to 60, and that'll relieve a lot of stress on my GPU right off the bat. So I just wanted to get that out there too. As far as the Eden server went, for PvP, I felt like there was a lot of PvP people the first 3 days. The 4th day, not so much. We primarily were just kind of around Windshold, and I think it was called Windshold or Winsfeld or something like that, and Everfall. I pretty much didn't leave the map of Everfall the whole beta. I just kind of was like, alright, when I start the game, I want to know an area inside and out, so I know where to find all the resources I want to get, I know where to find all the mobs I want to go farm. You know, when I pick up quests from this person at the faction board, where is that going to take me? That's what I wanted to know. That's what I pulled out. I'll be upgrading here soon, but not that expensive. I'll probably upgrade over time. Yeah, sometimes it is worth it just to upgrade over time. You know, just stash away some money and, you know, like Black Friday, hopefully the prices will be a little bit more manageable. What are you trying to upgrade to, Oath? Eden was the most populated server too. Yeah, I think I saw you post that in Discord too. I wish you could get, if somebody could get a graphic for that, that'd be interesting to see. For PvE, you know, besides day 4, we didn't really do a whole lot of PvE. I mean, you saw people around the game, and that's good. Even in an open beta that only lasted 4 days, there was a lot of people in the game. There was a lot of people in town at all times, you know? People packed in at all the crafting benches, and that's good to see. Even in an open beta where there's really not a lot of drive to get in and play the game, there was still people there. As far as the server goes, you know, what was your guys' reaction to the server? Did you guys have some good luck? I know Parallax had some big problems right away when the game first launched, which I'm sure it was a really high influx of people right away. Sorry if I mute myself a couple times here. I had a big slip at work and kind of smacked my throat down on a tote. Don't want to be coughing in y'all's ears. I have not decided, but I'm interested in the anti-freeze system. The anti-freeze system? You mean like liquid cooling? Yeah, ouch, dude, don't do that. Oh, dude, I'm a really safe guy, and I preach safety. And you know what? When I'm a supervisor, so I got to do that. I was stupid. I was pushing a liquid tote that was a little bit heavier than I should have. The floor was just freshly mopped. Slipped down and smacked my Adam's apple right on the tote. It's like, gall dang. Thought I was gonna pass out there for a minute. I'm feeling pretty good right now though. It got better for me as well. That's good, Parallax. I'm happy that it did. You know, I feel like everybody that was playing with us had a really good experience in the beta. You know, we weren't pushing levels hard or anything like that. I know you played a couple characters, I think, but you know, I think when the release comes out and a guy really pushes hard, Validus has got the stuff to get it done. I'm not gonna give out the trade secrets. You'll have to join the Discord and find out for yourself, you know? Let's talk about weapons here. I didn't use any weapons besides hatchet and bow. So I'm just gonna give my opinion on things I fought against and then what I used. So we'll start off with what I used, hatchet, bow. The bow, which was recommended to me by Oath and Parallax, that has got to be my favorite weapon. I mean, you see me using it on this corrupted guy here. I'm able to keep kiting around, using the poison arrow, using the penetrating arrow. Then I'm getting some good damage, some good DOT damage with the poison. It was pretty nice. And then the hatchet, I mean, it's just like jump in and face roll everything, you know, rogue style. I was pretty happy with it. I don't have anything really negative to say about the hatchet, to be honest. I think it's kind of right where it needs to be because its abilities kind of leave you vulnerable for a second, so it's not like you can just say, oh, you know, it's not working as intended, because I think it is kind of what they're intending it to be like, you know, the berserker path that I used. It seemed like it was geared that way, like I should be playing it that way. And then the bow, I mean, I started off with a evade shot on the bow, and my only knock on that is it only lets you jump backwards. I think if you could jump sideways with it, I probably would have kept it slotted. I had a blast in our groups just saying, hell yeah, Oath, me too, man. Same here, only played day 3, so I think I did well. Yeah, Dark. I'm happy you jumped in and played for a while, man. It was fun. It was a good time. I had a really good time playing. I think some of the most fun I had though was here day 4 when we started doing this corrupted stuff. Big challenge. Some things I really hated fighting against. And not that I think that they need to be nerfed, so don't think I'm one of those people. The things I really hated fighting against in PvP, number one, the Ice Gauntlet. Oh my god. You be chasing after a dude, you get a couple hits on him, he'd throw his little snowstorm blizzard thing on you, and then he'd run away like everybody else on the map, you know? It's like, alright. Then you get close, and then he hits you with another snowstorm. It, it was probably the most annoying thing to fight in PvP for me. Especially since I either had to hit him with the bow, which is hard with how much people are running around in circles and dodging and rolling and all that jazz, but I feel like I did pretty decent with the shots. That'll get better over time, so I'm not worried about that, but Ice Gauntlet was definitely the most annoying to play against. I don't know, for myself, I realize how tanky that shield is. Yeah, there was a couple times, like even in PvP, where when you went up against a sword and shield guy, it was like you almost had to just, keep his attention on you and get him to turn away from somebody else so they could hit him in the back. Like, the hatchet, even if I heavy attacked them, wouldn't break their stamina, And if I used an ability, even my 4-strike ability, it wouldn't break their stamina. So it was just pointless for me to try and fight them, I got to try a lot of weapons, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to rock spear and bow at the launch. Yeah, spear and bow, I could see that being pretty good. Me personally, if I was going to rock spear, I would probably rock musket instead of bow. But you never know. Bro, it uses your stamina for health when shield is raised. What? See, I haven't even used a sword and shield, so I wouldn't even know that. That's good to know. As far as the spear goes, it seemed like their CC abilities, and Parallax, you might be able to vouch for this. It seemed like the bow functioned better than it did in the closed beta. When I would run up to somebody with a spear, if they vault kicked you, it actually hit you and knocked you back, and they did the sweep at the ground, it would actually knock you down, like it would actually do something. Whereas like in the closed beta, you couldn't even get it to work on AI, or at least I couldn't. Another one that was kind of funky was the Warhammer, or the Battle Hammer, whichever hammer it was. Might have been the axe too. I haven't played them, so I don't know exactly which one it was, but the one where you like throw it and it makes like a black hole void thing and it like sucks you in. Man, that's probably the coolest looking ability in the game. Straight up. And if you're trying to run from a dude and he hits you with that, oh baby. You're pretty much dead. That's pretty much what happened to me. Every time that happened, just instant death. It was the battle axe. Right on, Tony. Thanks. As far as armor goes, that was weird. All my stuff cut out. Sorry about that. As far as the armor goes, I would say I enjoyed using medium armor the most. I did try light armor, medium, and heavy. As a DPS build, you would think heavy armor might not be the best option. But when you're thinking about something like, a boss fight where you don't have a lot of health, maybe it would be. I mean, it's got its uses. There's reasons to use everything. You'll notice right now I'm on a DPS build and I'm using medium armor. Might be like, well, why aren't you using light armor for extra damage? Well, the reasoning behind that I had was my berserk gives me more damage. When I got my bow out and I use a dodge, I get 20% more damage for 5 seconds or whatever it was. But my biggest problem is not being able to take a couple hits right when I got locked into a combo with the hatchet or even the bow. And I just didn't really like the dodge roll of the light armor. And what I mean by that is like when I was using the bow and you do the dodge roll, the screen shook me so bad I was missing a lot of shots right after the shot of the bow. So I would do my roll and then I'd come out of it and then I'd miss that shot almost 100% of the time. But then when I switched to medium armor and you just kind of do that side hop that you'll see in this video, it seemed like, you know, it was going pretty good. See people running big axe and big hammer stun lock? Yeah. I don't know if I saw anybody running double axe and hammer, but I could believe it. That would definitely be like, if they got you up close, you definitely ain't running away. Keep losing connection, can't tell if you're talking to me. Yeah, Twitch don't run very well on a phone there, Oath. Glyphberg, how's it going, man? How many wars did you guys all win on the beta? We didn't do any wars, man. I think if you totaled up all our people, let's see here, 1, 2. I had 7 people from our guild that we played with, that I played with personally. I'm sure there was more that played off and on, but we never all got together and actually did enough damage on, you know, the, what is that, the conflict meter to actually be able to wage a war. A lot of people sat out this beta. Yeah, I think it was just a, you know, it's a 4-day beta. Meh, don't really feel like it type deal. But I know it'll be a lot different when regular comes out. What server did y'all play on? It was Eden. North American East. Eden. What about you, Glyphberg? We did 9% on day 2. Yeah, the night you played on day 3, yeah, we did do 9%, but we also had, what, 6 people doing PvP quests for like 3 hours and turning them in. So, I mean, we boosted her pretty good. But you're going to definitely need a lot more people than that, and you're going to need a lot more quests getting turned in to make a dent. And I believe it was Oath and I that were talking, you know. You almost got to figure out how many quests slash how many people it would take to actually do 100% in one day. Because if you log off and you don't get on for, say, 20 hours, and you only did 10%, that 10% is more than likely going to be gone. You know, you almost got to go all or nothing, I feel. And maybe that could be different during the actual release. 9% in like an hour? Yeah. And I'm sure when the game actually opens up, there will be a lot more people around too. So, I mean, the game could be totally different. And maybe they won't be as easy as what we were doing, you know? US East Valhalla for the beta. Alright, cool. Or have alliances pick up where you leave off. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could do it, like you say, but you never know. We ain't gonna know until it happens, man. September 28th right now is the day, according to their Twitter. Depending on how far you read into the comments, I guess. Crafting and gathering. As far as crafting went, I didn't do a whole lot of crafting. I did a lot of potions and a lot of food because we were primarily just doing PvP. So I mean, I was gathering herbs and water, and you saw an iron vein, so you just smacked it a couple times. The gathering system I really like. I don't know what it is about New World's gathering system that's just so enticing, but it's like every time you see an iron vein, you're like, oh, iron vein, I gotta go hit that. Even though you got 600 iron ore in your backpack, you know? It's like, you see it and you gotta go have it. It's like me and boars or turkeys, you know? You just gotta shoot it. Didn't want to grind too much, but I love the system as well. Exactly. I wasn't out there chopping down 1,700 trees to get to level 50 so I could chop down a bigger tree, you know? That wasn't what we were trying to do. Trying to get out there and see some more of the systems that I didn't get to see in the closed beta was pretty much the goal. Crafting system seems to work pretty nice though. I didn't see anything that really put me off about the crafting. Because it seems like when you're going to be doing the professions, you're not just going to be a blacksmith and then not have to do anything besides go get iron ore. You know, there's other parts to making a sword than just getting iron. So, you know, as your items go up in rarity and level and whatnot, your gear score as this game goes by, you know, you're going to need different reagents for that, different materials. So you will have to do a little bit of everything, but you can get people in your guild to specialize in that, or your company, sorry, to specialize in that. And I think that's a good crafting system. I think that's a good gathering system. I think that's what's going to make their auction house flow really nice, which is another thing I liked. We'll see how outrageous some of the stuff gets, but it'll probably be pretty tame. My guess on the market is it's going to be really, really ramped up at the start, and then after about 3 months it'll tame down, and then once everybody starts hitting 60, like a lot of the population starts hitting 60, it'll jack back up again. For PvE, my biggest takeaways were the AI in the open beta seemed better for reaction as far as what do I mean by reaction? So like if you saw my review on the closed beta, or you heard me talk about it on streams, I talked about my experience with the boar right after the tutorial quest when you gotta go skin a boar. I couldn't kill a boar for 45 minutes just because none of my hits were registering. I didn't have any problems like that in the open beta. I did have a couple AI wolves just kind of randomly standing out in the wilderness, just doing nothing, and you could kill them with AoE attacks and then skin them while they were standing up moving. But I mean, they got games that have been out, you know, years and years that still got that kind of stuff, you know. So that's not something I'm too worried about. Now, if it was every wolf you ran up on, then we got a big problem. But I don't think it's a big problem. The questing just seemed like normal questing. It wasn't like, oh my god, I love this quest, or oh, this quest sucks. But it was, you know, normal questing. Pick this up, you go here, you kill this, or you get this much stuff, or you kill this guy and you run back. I mean, pretty basic stuff, but that's the kind of stuff you need too. The rewards you get from questing, I would say, are really nice though. It seems like everything's giving you something decent, especially for XP. PvP, I would say my experience overall would be very, very positive. I had a lot of fun PvPing. I didn't think I'd be very good at it. I don't think I'm superb at it or excellent, but I think I'm decent. I think that's a humble way of going about it. Is there ways we could be better? Oh, hell yeah. And I think for just a bunch of random people just playing with themselves for the, playing with each other for the first times with Validus here. We don't know how every one of us is going to react. I'm kind of an aggressive player, so, I kind of get in there and get a little in the shit here and there. But, that's where you kind of learn on this. It's not Apex Legends out here. This is New World, it's a lot different. Yeah, nothing special with the questing. Did good, bro. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You did good, too. You were just having fun? Oh, hell yeah, dude. I was having a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I was having a lot of fun. What faction you guys going on launch? Most likely Covenant, I would assume. Oh, Oath's got that right underneath. Yeah. Not 100%, though. Not 100%. I tell you what, as far as the factions go, I could really care less which one we're in. But I'm in it for the long haul, so wherever Validus goes, that's where I'm going. We're all learning a new game. That's one of the best parts. Hell yeah, it is, man. That's one of my favorite parts of Validus, getting me into New World, is this is going to be the biggest MMO that I've ever played. Because the only previous ones I've played is Elder Scrolls Online when it first came out, and Neverwinter, and both of those games, I wouldn't say aren't that crazy, Neverwinter's super easy, and Elder Scrolls is just open world Skyrim. Just a little bit different, Nothing too crazy. No purple allowed? What you got against purple, Parallax? It's not my favorite color or nothing, but... As far as PvP goes, as well, one thing I got here is like the flow of battle. I'm gonna come at you with some positive and negatives here real fast. So PvP, one thing I really liked is you'd be running around doing your quests and you'd be like, oh shit, there's a guy coming out of the tree, he's coming up right behind you. And you get the jump on one of your dudes, right? Or you'd be laying down in the grass, you'd walk past him, he'd pop up and he'd hit you. That made it surprising, suspenseful, and, exciting. One thing that wasn't surprising, suspenseful, or exciting was when some dude's trying to fight you right at the gates, and as soon as you're about to kill him, he runs back into the gate like a puss. You don't want to be one of them guys. I'll never be that guy. I don't care if I lose 20 quests. I ain't running for that gate. If I go out there to fight you, if my whole team's out there and they ain't running, I ain't running. I don't like doing what everybody does. Would rather be the underdog. Hell yeah. Oath says me too. Me three. But man, that was probably the most annoying part about the PvP was the constant running and running. And you'd almost kill him, and then he'd run. Then his buddy would come over, and then you'd almost kill him, and then he'd run, and then you'd almost kill them both, and then they both run for the city again. And you'll see on some of our streams, it's like, ugh. Fight or die, running doesn't make you better. Exactly. It's not like you're dropping your legendary level 60 loot when you die at level 15, guy, you know? Like, let's stick it in here. It's a fucking open beta and you're running like a puss, you know? It's just like, what the hell's going on here? That was really put offish for me for the PvP. Funny story though, if you didn't see one of the old streams, Parallax Glassy and I, we found this random, like, I don't know, he must have been level 22. And we're fighting him up by like this temple deal. And he starts running. And he must have had some like movement speed potions or something. But like we literally chased this dude. It had to be at least 20 minutes. And we catch him and then we get some damage in him and then he'd run and then we just keep chasing him. Then he'd run. Oh, it was hilarious. But at the same time, you know, you get to a point where you're just like, ah, fuck it, and you just leave him, you know? And I think that's what a lot of people are going to do in the PvP. If you don't have somebody in your group to stop the runners, it's gonna be really bad. You almost have to have one, you know? Either that or you just gotta mop the floor with them right when you get them, you know? Which sometimes it works like that and sometimes it don't. For the factions, you got Covenant, Syndicate, and Marauders. So there's not really any benefit to choosing one or the other besides what the population's gonna be in, which it seems like, what is it gonna be? Syndicate is gonna be pretty much the biggest one, I would say. I saw a lot of Marauders, not a whole lot of Covenant, which is okay with me. You need catchers that flank the right, flank the fight, ready to catch the runners. Hell yeah. Great Axe is good for that. Yeah. The Great Axe with that black portal thing, man, that was something else. And this part in the video is where we start getting into some of them hardcore animals here. Remember when we fought that first wolf? It was like, holy crap, this guy is wrecking us right now. Then you get to this Hortus bear. Sprint, pull, slow down. Yep. One thing I liked about the factions is their faction board quests. How they had PvE and PvP quests. And then you get the faction currency to buy gear, and that's actually what I used in the beta to get a little bit higher gear score faster. I don't know if those values will change for when the game releases, but it seems like how they got that set up, it rewards you for doing the quests early on in the game, and it seems like your tiered is going to be locked out by you being able to do the content or not, which I think is going to be dependent on your group size. So I think they got a good system going for that faction gear. So I'm not too worried about that. We'll see how that goes later on. For gearing, there was a lot of attributes and things to look at for your gear. I don't think it's a super complicated system. There's not a whole lot of stats, but like when you get something that's got focus on it and you don't run focus for anything, it's just kind of like, well, shit, and that's like any other game, which is fine. I got no problem farming gear. But I think that would be the hardest part about the faction gear, is it seems like if they go certain stats, certain sets, the light, medium, and heavy, you gotta get that gear because hey, that's the stuff you want. Then you gotta get the covenant sigils, whatever, the faction sigil to change the stats on it or re-roll the stats or whatever it is. Which I couldn't get to work for some reason. I never looked it up, but faction gear is level 15 minimum, maximum when slotted. I would not pass it up. No, definitely. In the build video that comes out for what I did for the early game PVX build for Hatchet and Bow, that's going to come out on Thursday. I talk about that too. Where and how I got gear, why I put it on, how I selected what kind of gear I put on, kind of going through that whole motion. It's it's not 100% in-depth build, but I do go through every aspect of what I slotted on the character, why, with reasoning behind it, other than, oh, it looks cool, you know? As far as the company I'm in right now, Validus, goes, I think we're on a good path because we got a good, solid, small core group of people, and that's only going to grow the more you get more people on when the game releases. And then to add on top of that, then you really start to get into the flow of introducing new people to your core group, and that's when your content just takes way off. That's when company slash guild is really going to increase good, and you're going to start getting better and better content done. And I really, really believe that's the direction we're going. Just an example of that is the core group's already kind of decided, hey, everybody's going to be gathering and crafting a little bit of everything. But hey, this guy's going to do this and this guy's going to primary in this, so that when our group is like, hey, we want to go do a dungeon, we got to all have the best shit out there for our levels right now. Or hey, we need to have some food buffs or some potions, we got that, and I think that's an important before the game releases. If you're going to be super serious about it, that's important to have right then and there. That all kind of weighed out. So I think we're on a good path for that. Since we're talking about the company Validus too, you can find the links to the Validus Discord on my Discord, or you can find the links here on Twitch. You can find it here on YouTube if you're watching this after the stream. It's down in the description. They're on my Discord, like I said. Come jump over before the game releases September 28th here. Jump into a nice guild. There's two benefits to being in a company right off the bat that I would say for an MMO is one, it's a massive multiplayer online role-playing game, MMORPG. It is not a solo multiplayer game. There's no such thing. Get in with a group of people. Do yourself a favor in this game. Solo play is only going to take you so far. There's going to be those hardcore solo players. I'm telling you, you're missing out on the big experience by not jumping in a company for this game. You're going to want it. Even if it isn't Validus, you need to jump into somebody's company in your time zone that you enjoy playing with. Happy to add new members of the family? Definitely. That's what MMOs are all about. Getting the full experience with the company gives you all the content. You can do all of the content when you got a large company. And a bunch of people that play in your time zone means that they're more than likely going to be playing at the same time as you. That's reason number one. Number two, you get to meet a bunch of badass people like us at Validus, People that you'd never ever meet anywhere else in your entire life. And that's what video games do for us. So do yourself a favor, go out and find a company. You don't know what kind of company you want to go to, jump into Validus. We got you, brother. Final topic for us here. This is the big question. Is the game ready for release? I want to hear what you guys think here too as I'm going on this. Before I continue on that, as what their Twitter post said the day the beta closed, they're scheduled to release the game on September 28th. Now, if you scroll down into their comment section, you see some of their comments to other people's comments. It kind of makes you question, like, if it's actually coming out. What I would say, is the game ready or not? I really don't know. Because there's a lot of what ifs. I'm not a game designer. I've never tested a game. I wouldn't even call the open beta what I played a test. I played the open beta, you know? I feel like you should be playing an open beta. It's not really a test. So, as far as what I should be expecting, I'm not really sure. But like I pointed out, it felt like the game ran nice to me the day 4 when the population was down to medium. So that points me in the direction of the servers. So if they feel like their servers are ready for the game to release on the 28th, I think that they should release it on the 28th. But if it's stuff for like their coding of like the game mechanics and all that, that's the problem. It would make more sense for them to push it off. And that's kind of my standpoint on it. Oath says I'm on the fence. Dark says game yes, server kinda. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of 50-50. Like the gamer in me is like, hell yeah, bring New World out. Fuck it, I don't care. I'll play it anyways. But then the guy that doesn't want to play a trash game is like, if you push it out another 30 days, I'll get over it. I'll still play. Blah 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 blah. But I think they could release this on the 28th and you'd have a good product. All in all. I truly believe it was the server that had issues. And I think, like I said at the beginning of the video, once they distribute everybody amongst more servers, I don't think it'll be a problem. Because a lot of this stuff you can do in hot fixes if you had to, which isn't the most desired way of fixing your game, but it is a way to do it. You can't make everybody happy, and I think they know better than any of us or any alpha or beta tester. They know better than us if the game is ready to release or not, That gator wants your ass. Dude, this gator was probably the hardest fight we had all night. That sucker was quick. That lunge, I mean, if you didn't time it perfect, you were dead. And I think even when he gets like below a quarter health, he starts doing like a triple chomp at you, just chomp, chomp, chomp. And it was like as soon as you got your stamina back, just to fucking dodge out of the way, he's already chomping back at you again. Gator was the hardest, most definitely. Like I was worried about the Lynx right away, but the Lynx wasn't that bad. Surprisingly, the hardest. Sorry about that, I had to cough again. Surprisingly, the hardest animals we fought, or that I did, was the gators by far. Even solo, I mean, they were a fucking nightmare, even at your level. 20 to 30 levels higher than us. Yeah, exactly. We don't even know what level this thing was. I think in here it was a maximum of 50. I think I'm on level 18 at that point. So, I mean, pretty big jump. Other than that, guys, I was really happy with the open beta. Couple other talking points here. This PvE video that you're watching right now in the background, that's from day 4. That video can only be found here on Twitch, or if you're not watching this video, you wouldn't know it, but it's also going to be in the Discord, so it's going to be a Discord and Twitch exclusive. This Thursday, build video for my PVX build for my hatchet and bow. If you don't know what PVX is, that's PvP and PvE, a mixture, so you can use in both. That video is scheduled to release Thursday. So make sure you stop by on YouTube, check that video out, check out some of the other beta streams. Go ahead and go through and see what you can find on there, man. Hopefully you find something that you like. Maybe by watching my video, you see how I was kind of doing stuff. Maybe you wouldn't like the hatchet, you know. There's definitely value in watching other people's content. Another thing I want to address too is if you go and watch the streams from the beta testing, the volume for my company members on my stream was extremely low. And that was my fault. And just kind of, this is just an adjustment I gotta make on raising everybody's volume. When I'm talking to them on the headset, it feels like they're super loud, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's gotta be so loud on the stream, let me turn that down. I think I just toned it down a little bit too much, is pretty much what happened. So we're gonna make sure we definitely got that fixed before we get the new release coming out, which means I got plenty of time to do. Also, as you can see, we got plenty of updates to the stream overlay here. This is just the video viewing one, so this one you're gonna see when we do the Ashes of Creation update too. Kind of a slick look here. I can show you the other one here. This will be my main overlay right here. You can't see any of the display right now because I got it turned off, but this is what it's gonna be like instead of that clunky blue look, purple looking stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. Painted wings, and Glassy and I kind of sat here and got some of that stuff done here last night. Clean it up, make it a little sharper. Make it look pretty for all you guys out there on Twitch and YouTube. Make it pleasing to the eye, you know. Again, we got the PVX build coming out on Thursday. We got the PvE video. That's only on Twitch and Validus Discord. And my Discord. We also got the PvP matchup, which is all 4 days. I'm going to clip out all of our PvP fights. The good, bads, and the uglies. You're going to see it where I smack some level 5. You're going to see it where I get smacked by some level 30. You're going to see it all. The goods and the bads. And that's going to come out next Tuesday. And we're going to take a little bit of a break here. Let the end of the month kind of roll in. We'll be doing Ashes of Creation review here at the end of the month when that comes out, and we'll also, hopefully, if everything goes right for us, be streaming New World at the end of the month. I got my wedding anniversary coming up here this week, Thursday, so I gotta go take care of that, be with the woman for that. So no Thursday stream, but you will have your YouTube video coming out for that. And then, yeah, that's about all that's going on. It's going to be a busy rest of the month for me, so it's going to be nice to have a little bit of a game comes up. Great stream, bro. Good topics and points. Have a great night, man. Hey, both you too, man. Thanks for stopping by. Art looks awesome. Great job, team. Yeah, glassy. Painted wings. You see this later? This is all you guys. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. You see, they do all the art, and then I just do the layout and take the credit for it, you know? It works good that way. 13 days? 13 days? I suppose if you don't count today, yeah, it'd be 13 days. I was gonna say 14 days, technically. Had a great time, having a great evening, everyone. Hey man, Parallax, you have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. It's a good stream, guys. Think we're gonna leave it at that. Watching on YouTube, you're watching this on Twitch later on, you didn't catch the stream, don't worry about it, man. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, watch some of our past streams. Get a kind of a feel for the content, where we're flowing, how we're improving. Get in over on the description on YouTube or the About Me page on Twitch. Get into the Validus Discord, get into my Discord, figure out when I'm streaming new content. New World's almost here, man. We're almost there. We're going to be busting out a bunch of videos, jumping with the company, jumping with the family. See you on the field, adventurers. Peace.